Okay, so you're ready to build an app.
Well, congrats.
That's fantastic.
But
But figuring out
yeah,
the right tech stack
it's tough.
it can feel overwhelming, like trying to pick a lock
Oh,
on
yeah.
a paperclip.
Got all these choices out there.
Java, Python, .NET. It's a jungle
Yeah, it really is.
out there.
Big time.
So you've been smart. You've done some research, and you sent us your notes.
Absolutely.
So let's untangle this whole thing together
Let's do it.
and find the perfect tools
Yeah.
for your app.
And it's funny you say that. It's like a toolbox. You got all these different tools in there, screwdrivers and hammers and wrenches and pliers, and each one has its strength
Yeah.
and its specific use.
Okay, so you're saying there's no one-size-fits-all superstar.
Exactly. You really got to understand the problem you're trying to solve.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now you've been looking into Java, Python, and .NET. So let's start with Java, often called the backbone of the enterprise world. All those massive banking systems that handle millions of transactions seemingly without breaking a sweat.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of times. That's Java at work.
Ah, so that's why my bank app never seems to crash.
Yeah.
Even during those crazy online sales. I always wondered about that. But what is it about Java that makes it so good for these big, complex systems?
Well, one reason is Java's focus on security and scalability. You can think of it like building a skyscraper. You need a strong foundation and the ability to add more floors as your needs grow. So Java provides that solid pace. It's also platform independent, thanks to something called the Java Virtual Machine.
Wait, platform independent. So that means I can write the code once.
Yeah.
And it'll run on any device.
You got it. So the JVM acts like a translator. It allows the same Java code to run on Windows, Mac, Linux, you name it.
Wow.
It's a huge advantage, especially for large-scale applications. And Java's got a massive ecosystem. Think libraries, tools, a huge community of developers.
Right.
That means tons of resources and support if you ever get stuck.
So Java is powerful, secure, and flexible. Sounds like a dream come true. But I'm guessing there are some downsides, right? No language is perfect.
Well, true. There are some trade-offs. Java can be a bit more verbose than other languages, meaning it might require more lines of code to achieve the same functionality. And this can make it a bit more time-consuming to write and debug, especially for beginners.
Yeah.
And the learning curve can be a little steeper compared to something like Python.
I see. So it might be a bit overwhelming for someone just starting out.
Yeah, it can be. Now let's move on to Python, a language that's all about speed and versatility. Think of it like a Swiss Army knife of programming languages. It can be used for a wide range of tasks, from building simple web applications to developing complex artificial intelligence algorithms.
So if Java's like the skyscraper, Python is more like a nimble speedboat, zipping around and getting things done quickly.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. So Python is known for its rapid development capabilities, which makes it a favorite among startups, and for building prototypes. And you're right, it's incredibly versatile, but where Python really shines is in the world of AI and machine learning.
Right. I keep hearing about Python being used for all of these incredible AI-powered apps, like facial recognition software, or those apps that recommend products based on your browsing history.
Exactly. So Python's dynamic typing and extensive libraries, especially those focused on AI and data science, like TensorFlow and PyTorch, make it ideal for that iterative nature of AI development, allows for rapid prototyping and experimentation, which is crucial in this rapidly evolving field.
So it lets you test and refine your AI models quickly? That sounds super valuable, especially when you're dealing with cutting-edge technology.
Absolutely. And Python's concise and readable syntax makes it easier to write and understand code, even for complex AI algorithms. It's almost like writing plain English compared to some other languages. And those vast libraries offer pre-built functions and modules, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel for every task.
So Python is fast to learn, fast to develop with, and has a treasure trove of tools for AI. It sounds amazing. But you mentioned trade-offs earlier. What are some of the downsides of Python?
Well, one of the main trade-offs is that while Python excels in rapid development, its runtime performance can be slower compared to Java or .NET, particularly when it comes to handling massive amounts of data or high-performance computing tasks and scaling Python applications for massive user bases or complex systems. It can require more specialized knowledge and effort.
So speed and flexibility for development, but potentially some challenges when it comes to scaling or raw processing power. So it's all about picking the right tool for the job.
All right, thanks.
Speaking of different tools, we got one more to explore. .NET seems to have a reputation as the go-to for Windows applications.
That's right. So .NET particularly the C# language, has long been the champion for building robust and powerful applications designed specifically for the Windows ecosystem. Think desktop applications, enterprise software, deeply integrated with Windows servers, and even game development.
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing that some of my favorite mobile games were built using .NET with the Unity framework.
That's right. .NET is much more versatile than many people realize. It's used to power a wide range of applications, from those complex enterprise systems to engaging and visually stunning games. But there's more. While .NET has historically been associated with Windows development, it's been expanding its reach in recent years with .NET Core.
.NET Core. So .NET is breaking free from its Windows-only reputation. Tell me more about that.
Well, .NET Core is an open-source cross-platform framework that allows developers to build applications that run seamlessly on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS.
Oh, wow.
So this means you can use your .NET skills to create web applications, mobile apps, and even cloud-based services that run on a variety of platforms, not just Windows.
So .NET is becoming a real contender in the cross-platform world. What are some of the other advantages of using .NET?
Well, .NET boasts a strong set of tools, especially Visual Studio, which is considered one of the best integrated development environments out there. It provides a seamless development experience, especially for Windows-centric applications. And just like Java, .NET is known for its high performance and scalability, making it a solid choice for enterprise-level applications.
So we've got powerful tools, great performance, and now cross-platform capabilities with .NET Core. Sounds like a pretty compelling option. But I'm sure there are areas where .NET might fall short.
Well, while .NET's community is growing rapidly, it's still smaller compared to Java or Python. This means you might find slightly fewer resources or community support compared to those ecosystems, especially when venturing into more specialized areas.
Okay.
And while .NET Core has made great strides in cross-platform development, it's still catching up in areas like mobile development, where Java and Python have a stronger presence.
Okay, so community size and mobile development are a couple things to consider. We've covered a lot of ground here. Java, Python, .NET, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. It's almost like choosing a superhero team for your app.
Yeah, I like that.
But how do we actually decide which one is the best fit for our specific project? It feels a little overwhelming.
Well, you're right. Choosing a tech stack is a crucial decision. It's about finding the best fit for your project's needs, your team's expertise, and your long-term goals. It's not about picking the best language in a vacuum. It's about understanding which one will help you achieve your vision the most effectively.
So there's no single right answer. It's all about making informed choices based on our specific situation. This is where it starts to feel like a real deep dive. I'm ready to explore those decision-making factors.
Excellent. Let's dive into that next. Okay, so let's break these decision points down into something manageable. Imagine this. You're putting together a team for a big project. You wouldn't just pick people randomly right now.
Oh, definitely not. You'd want to consider their skills, their experience, how well they work together. You know you're building a team. That complements each other's strengths.
Exactly. And choosing your app's tech stack, it's very similar. First, you got to think about the nature of your application. What's its core purpose? You know, what problems is it going to solve? Is it a complex, data-heavy application? That needs to be incredibly reliable and secure, like an online banking system.
Right. Or is it something like a prototype?
Yeah.
For a new social media app.
Right.
Where speed and flexibility are key.
Yeah. Those are totally different challenges if you're building that rock-solid banking system. Java or .NET might be your top contenders. They're known for their robustness, security features, ability to handle massive amounts of data.
And users.
But I'm like racing to get that social media prototype out there, to test the market. Python's speed and agility would probably win out.
You're catching on quickly. Another crucial factor is performance. Does your app need to handle a huge volume of traffic? Or perform complex calculations in real time? Oh, like a stock trading app, where like every millisecond counts. Or a machine learning algorithm. That crunches tons of data to make predictions.
Precisely. In those cases, Java and .NET, with their focus on performance optimization, could be the better choice. And of course, if AI and machine learning are at the heart of your app, Python, with its specialized libraries and frameworks, would be the natural fit.
Okay, this is starting to click. So we got the app's purpose, its performance needs. What else should we be considering?
Well, your teams, existing skills and expertise. Do you have a team of seasoned Java developers, or are they more comfortable with Python's syntax? Leveraging your team's strengths can save you a lot of time, money, and headaches down the road.
That makes a lot of sense. Trying to learn A completely new language from scratch while building an app. Sounds like a recipe for stress.
And don't forget about the long-term maintenance of your app. Some languages and frameworks have more mature ecosystems, offering better tools and support. For managing large, complex projects, over time, Java and .NET are often favored in enterprise settings for this reason.
So it's not just about building the app, it's about keeping it running smoothly for years to come. What about budget and time constraints? Those are real-world factors for any project.
Absolutely. Startups with limited resources might find Python's rapid development capabilities and open source tools a more economical choice. It allows them to get a minimum viable product to market quickly and iterate based on user feedback.
While a larger company with a bigger budget might be willing to invest more in the robust architecture
and long-term stability of a Java or .NET solution?
Exactly. It's a balancing act. There's no single right answer. But by carefully considering these factors, the nature of your app, performance needs, team expertise, long-term maintenance, and budget, you can make an informed decision. That sets your project up for success.
Okay, so we've laid out the key decision points, but I'm still curious. Can you give me some real-world examples of how these languages are used in different types of apps? I think that would really help solidify this for me. Of course. Let's start with Java. Imagine you're building a secure online banking platform that handles millions of transactions daily. You need rock-solid reliability, top-notch security, and the ability to scale as your user base grows. Java's robust architecture, strong security features, and massive ecosystem make it a natural fit for this scenario.
So when I'm checking my bank balance late at night, I can thank Java for keeping my money safe and the app running smoothly. What about Python? What kind of app would really benefit from its strengths?
Let's say you're a startup developing a new app that analyzes user spending habits. To provide personalized financial advice, you need to process large data sets, apply machine learning algorithms to identify patterns, and present those insights to users in a clear, engaging way. Python with its data science libraries, like Pandas for data manipulation, and scikit-learn for machine learning, combined with its web development frameworks, like Django or Flask, makes this type of application development much smoother and faster.
So Python could be the brains behind an app. That helps me manage my money better. That's pretty cool. What about a real-world example for .NET?
Let's imagine you're a game development studio, creating an immersive 3D game that pushes the boundaries of visual fidelity and performance. You need a framework that can handle complex graphics rendering, physics simulations, and multiplayer networking. .NET, with its powerful Unity framework, provides a comprehensive toolkit for game development, allowing you to bring your creative vision to life across multiple platforms.
So the next time I'm like, battling a dragon in a stunning fantasy world, it might be .NET, powering the experience. It's amazing to see how each language has its own sweet spot.
It is, and the best part is that these languages continue to evolve. They're not static tools. New frameworks, libraries, and features are constantly being developed, which opens up even more possibilities for app development.
Yeah, that's what I love about this field. It's constantly changing, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Okay. I feel like I've got a much clearer understanding now of how these languages fit into the app development landscape. Is there anything else we should cover before moving on?
I think we've covered the essentials. Remember, choosing the right tech stack is an important decision, but it shouldn't be a paralyzing one.
So don't get bogged down.
Yeah.
In analysis paralysis. Just dive in and start building.
Exactly. Sometimes the best way to learn is by doing. And remember, you don't have to go it alone. There are tons of resources available, online communities, tutorials, even experienced developers who are willing to share their knowledge and help you along the way.
That's great advice. Now, before we wrap up, I want to make sure we leave our listeners with a clear understanding of when to choose Java, Python, or .NET for their app projects. Could you give us a quick recap of the key takeaways?
Absolutely. Let's recap.
Okay, so let's recap what we've learned about these powerful languages. We started with Java, the enterprise heavyweight.
Right. Think of Java as your go-to choice when you need to build those large-scale applications that demand rock-solid reliability, security, and performance. Things like complex banking systems, e-commerce platforms, enterprise-level software. They're often powered by Java, known for its robust architecture, mature ecosystem, and a huge community of developers.
Yeah, so if you're building an app that needs to handle sensitive data and scale to millions of users, Java is a strong contender. But, keep in mind, it can have a steeper learning curve and might require more code to achieve the same functionality compared to other languages.
Right. Next, we explored Python. You can think of Python as the speedy innovator. It's all about rapid development, versatility, and a clean, easy-to-read syntax. Python's incredibly popular for web development, data analysis, and especially AI and machine learning.
All right, so if you're a startup and you're trying to build a prototype quickly, or if you're diving into the world of AI, Python is your best friend. Its vast libraries and frameworks make it really easy to work with data, build machine learning models, create powerful applications. But keep in mind that Python's runtime performance can be a bit slower compared to Java or .NET, especially when handling massive amounts of data.
And then finally, we looked at .NET, which has historically been the go-to for Windows applications. But with .NET Core, it's becoming a powerful force in cross-platform development as well.
Right, so think of .NET as the versatile all-rounder. It's capable of building everything, from robust Windows desktop applications and enterprise-level software to visually stunning games and cross-platform mobile apps. Offers excellent performance, powerful set of tools, and is known for its developer-friendly environment.
Yeah, but it's worth noting that .NET's community, while growing rapidly, is still smaller than Java or Python's. And although it's made great strides in cross-platform development, it's still catching up in some areas, like mobile app development.
Okay, so we got Java for the enterprise giants, Python for the speedy innovators, and .NET for the versatile all-rounders.
But I think the biggest takeaway here is that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Choosing the right tech stack is about understanding your app's unique needs, your team's expertise, and your long-term vision.
Yeah, you can think of it as assembling the perfect toolbox for your project. You need the right tools for the job, and those tools will depend on the specific challenges you're facing and the goals you want to achieve.
I love that, the toolbox analogy. Now, I'm curious, what advice would you give to someone who's still feeling overwhelmed by all these options? How do they actually start narrowing down their choices and making a decision?
I would say, start by clearly defining your app's purpose and goals. What problem are you solving? Who is your target audience? What features are essential? And which ones are nice to haves? Once you have a solid understanding of what you're building, you can start evaluating different languages and frameworks based on how well they align with your vision. So it all comes back to that first principle we talked about. Understanding the problem you're trying to solve. Don't get lost in the tech jargon or the hype surrounding the latest trends. Focus on finding the tools that will empower you to build the best possible solution for your specific needs.
Exactly. And remember, you don't have to make this decision in isolation. Talk to other developers, explore online communities, and experiment with different languages. The more you learn and the more you experiment, the more confident you'll become in choosing the right tech stack for your app.
I love that emphasis on experimentation. Don't be afraid to try things out, to get your hands dirty with code, and to see what feels right for you.
Absolutely. Learning by doing is one of the most effective ways to gain a deep understanding of these languages and frameworks.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything. On choosing a tech stack, for building your app, any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
I would just encourage you to stay curious and to never stop learning. The world of technology is constantly evolving, with new languages, frameworks, and tools emerging all the time. What seems like the cutting edge today might be old news tomorrow. So embrace the challenge, keep exploring, and who knows, maybe you'll be the one pioneering the next big thing in the tech world.
I love that. Never stop exploring. That's what makes this field so exciting. Well, to all you aspiring app creators out there, we hope this deep dive has given you the knowledge and confidence to choose the perfect tech stack for your next project.
Remember, the best tech stack isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's the one that aligns perfectly with your vision, your team, and your app's unique needs.
So go out there, do your research, experiment, and build something amazing.
Until next time, keep innovating, keep learning, and keep diving deep